Welcome, people of the internet. This is Geek Rating Review, where we talk about everything geek culture and geek related. My name is Jean-Marc, and I talk.
My name's Nick. We talk about food, too. I was born in London, Mark, because I'm his littlest brother, David.
And like in the middle of a conversation.
The opening banter is part of the charm.
That's true.
Put that pen away, because I'm going to click it through the whole podcast. I do not want to do that.
Don't want to do that.
I'm going to go put this envelope in my shred pile, because I don't want to look at that.
David, no one can see you. It's an audio podcast.
I know, I'm just letting y'all know I walked away.
He doesn't want to fidget.
All right, I need to get away from the mic so I don't overdo the volume.
I'm going to just fidget with whiskey and Coke.
I also have 2 fidget spinners, and I don't use them except when we do this podcast.
So we started watching the Jinx. In case
Yes!
She has absolutely no idea where this show is going, and I'm like, I don't know.
It's so good.
I don't know. She's like, he killed his wife, right? I'm like, I don't know. He cut that guy up, right? I don't know.
Great.
Why isn't he in prison? I don't know.
You need to watch Mommy Dead Dearest.
Is that on HBO?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very.
That's why I don't get it.
Yes, it's HBO Docs. Mommy Dead Dearest is on almost on the level of the one about the child molestation one that we watched.
Oh, no. David, $14.99. You don't have to have Hulu. You don't have to have Prime. Just get HBO now. It's $14.99 a month.
It's expensive.
It's expensive, but you get everything HBO has ever done.
That's true.
And a bunch of rotating horrible movies.
Yeah, but I got it through Hulu. So I got Hulu and HBO like all on Hulu's browser.
Yeah, I
So-
only have Hulu and
I hate the Hulu interface, though.
Yeah, me too. It's horrible. I wish you had the option to not change it.
The HBO Now interface is pretty good. You have to start the next thing in order to make it save to continue watching. Like, it doesn't, I don't know, you either have to add it to your list like Amazon Prime or make it to the next show. But it's a clean interface. Video games. So are we talking about video games?
I can go first because this was something I wanted to bring up.
Welcome to the
And
internet.
welcome to the internet,
Ah,
where we started talking about how great HBO is.
What?
We started, HBO's great.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Very really good.
so this topic has nothing to do with David, but I want to hear his thoughts. So, Nick, you like the Far Cry games, right?
Far Cry?
Yeah, Far Cry games. Do you like the Far Cry games?
No. I like Blood Dragon.
So you like Blood Dragon. You like the
Yeah.
Skyrim games?
Elder
Kind of.
Scroll?
Elder Scroll games?
I like Oblivion and Morrowind. Skyrim's good,
And you
but
like
it's easy to cheese.
Dragon Quest
I like
11.
Dragon Quest, yes.
And you liked Final Fantasy 15.
Yes, I think Final Fantasy 15 is a good game. Not a great game, a good game.
So in saying that you like all of those things,
Okay, I see where you're going.
it could come to say that you're a hypocrite for not liking open world games. That's all I'm saying. Because Dragon Quest XI is the most boring open world game I have ever played in my entire life. It's kids' first open world game. Hey, I'm an anime character whose body doesn't move, and let's go over here and help this person. Oh, we're helping this person. At least in first-person shooters, you're shooting somebody, right? And I don't mind the turn-based stuff, and you're leveling up quickly. It's just Dragon Quest was so boring, and then I hated it so much. I thought Nick has to be a hypocrite if he likes something like this, and hates something like an open world thing like Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
Right.
Let me give you my counterpoint.
Okay.
I like an open world that has stuff in it. The open world isn't the game.
Okay.
Dragon Quest is at first a JRPG. It is a turn-based JRPG.
Mm-hmm.
The open world is second. It didn't need an open world to succeed.
Yeah.
Skyrim absolutely needs an open world to be a successful game because you can beat that game in a couple of sittings if you don't do all the trappings of the open world.
Okay.
Where I think open worlds fall flat is whenever they include survival elements where
Like Zelda? Like Breath of the Wild? Like
I think
which is
You don't
Breath
need,
of the-
you don't need food to survive.
You don't need food in Breath of the Wild. You don't need to craft in Breath of the Wild to succeed in that game. You can do it to get better. The things that Breath of the Wild asks you to do is beat Ganon. You don't even have to go and do the 4 Guardian quests. All those things are optional. What I think you're saying, because I said that I don't like Red Dead 2. I don't like Assassin's
well, you
Creed.
said generally open world games, though.
I get fatigued by open worlds. I can call Spider-Man an open world game, kinda,
Yeah.
but a lot of the action takes place in corridors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Red Dead 2 because that game is constantly trying to make me play in its open world. When it tells a compelling story and a good story,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not front and center.
Okay.
I don't want a game to hold my hand, but I also don't want a game to make me engage in systems that I don't want to engage in unless it's the game.
Well, what systems?
I don't want to engage in a survival system. I don't want to feed a camp. I don't want to feed this. I don't want to.
Well, you don't have to. That's the same argument with they
You
show you
don't,
how to do it.
but-
They say you can do the rest later.
And beat somebody up, and there's 15 other things along the way that's trying to stop me from going do that thing.
But isn't that the same thing as an Elder Scroll game?
I think Elder Scrolls games, they started this trend.
Okay.
Skyrim came out how long ago? 8 years ago?
Yeah.
Well,
And that is what every game is trying to be now. It's doing, everything is trying to have that dangling those fruits. You got to go this way, go that way.
But
and
didn't
it stops you
GTA
from
3
expanding.
come out before
I
that?
have never liked a Grand Theft Auto game.
Yeah. Yeah.
even Vice City.
Not
Even
even
what?
Vice City.
Oh,
I like
Vice
and
City.
it's still-
There's Liberty City Stories on PSP. That game is fine because that open world is so small.
Hmm.
And it doesn't make you do any of that stuff. All of that stuff is optional, which most of those GTA games are optional. Most Rockstar games, a
Well,
lot of
so
the
it
stuff
is.
optional.
So is it in Red Dead?
It is in Red Dead, but it also has that survival stuff. It has that hunting stuff. It has.
You don't
all
have
that
to
other
hunt.
stuff. You don't have to do it, but it's constantly throwing it in your face. It makes
Okay.
you- oh, you gotta have a party at your camp. You gotta dance with all the different people.
You don't
at the
have to. You
camp.
just go to bed. You don't have
you
to
don't.
dance with them. You
You
don't have to
don't.
do any of it.
Then that's artificially lengthening your game.
Well, I didn't. I decided that I never used the Deadeye in it, and I killed everyone I saw. It was awesome. I decided I wasn't gonna care about hunting, and I wasn't gonna care about, and I just killed everyone. I didn't care
Okay.
about the
So
whatever.
They designed 70% of a game that you don't want to involve yourself in.
No, I didn't, and it was awesome.
Okay, then that's not what I want. That's not what I want from a game. I want a game to appreciate my time.
Okay.
It's such a small thing to ask. Like, you and I will definitely agree. Who is making the best single-player first-person shooters in the world right now? I think it is.
Wolfenstein. Yeah, Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein, Doom.
Yeah,
Those
Doom.
games
Great. Yes.
are crushing it.
Yeah.
Even like Dishonored. That's a Bethesda
Dishonored's
property.
fantastic. Yeah.
Those games don't waste your time
Yeah.
because they tell a story, they have systems, you engage in those systems, and you move on to the next game.
But those are more linear games, though. Those are all linear, shooters.
Not every game has to have branching paths. Not every game has to be an open world, and not
Yes.
every game has to have survival elements.
But I hate it. I didn't hate it. Breath of the Wild is my least favorite 3D Zelda game I've ever played in my entire life.
I don't get
I
that.
disagree.
Your weapons keep breaking. Hey, here I'm gonna. Oh, my weapons. I guess I gotta go through my menu. Oh, here's another. Oh, it broke again. Let me go through. Oh no, now my health's low. Let me get a. Oh no, I have to cook a thing. Oh no, now my menu
Yeah,
is
there's-
overdone. Oh, now I have to. I hate it. You're constantly micromanaging all the time in that game. More so than in Red Dead Redemption. Shockingly.
Okay, well,
Shockingly.
the game Breath of the Wild is designed around weapon and armor fatigue.
Uh,
It's
That-
designed around
Well,
it.
you like Elder Scrolls? Those all have all that crap.
And the Skyrim doesn't have weapon fatigue. It's got rechargeability and magical weapons.
Got it off my.
And yeah, you don't have to cook food, and I don't mess with the crafting in the Elder Scroll games.
What food to cook? Just go get durians and cook one durian at a time, and fill your inventory, and you'll have full heart plus 4 yellows.
I didn't know that. I don't know these things.
I told you that.
But I still have to worry about weapons. Even after you, spoiler alert, get the Master Sword.
At you.
Yeah, the shrines are made of weapons.
Yeah.
I like the ending, and I like the beginning. The journey in between there was the worst thing that's ever... It wasn't that bad. Because I didn't stop playing it.
Climbing crap and finding things and killing all the monsters, that was the most fun part.
Finding things in that game is what sets that game apart.
Shrine hunting was my favorite thing about it.
It's not for everybody, but it's one of, if not my favorite Zelda game ever.
I did like the dungeons in it. I guess that was fun. I just hated that I constantly had to worry about weapons. When Red Dead, when a gun degrades, it takes you 2 seconds to clean it, and then you can use it again. In this game, it's gone forever.
Red Dead has really horrible menus. Red Dead has really horrible shops. Red Dead has horrible UI. The user interface in that game is not fun. I never knew how to play the game until 9 hours into it.
I didn't have a problem with that. I didn't have a problem with
it. There's so many things. I told you there was a lady that was trapped under a horse.
Okay.
I saved her from under the horse. Whenever I accepted my reward from her, I go to walk away and I bash her to death.
Okay.
Didn't want to. It just did it because of there's a Rolodex of prompts that come on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Different buttons do different things at different times. Screw that. I was trying to play a Boy Scout, and I beat this woman to death in front of somebody.
Anytime
so I had to chase somebody down, kill him, hide the body, and game.
Being in the world and getting on my horse and riding around. It felt like a cool experience I haven't experienced since probably Oblivion, actually. Because Skyrim was okay, but I didn't like the mountains as much. And this one, I appreciated the mountains, and I appreciated,
yeah, but you could climb every mountain in Skyrim by just jumping.
That's true.
That's true, and I need to play Skyward Sword. But
no, you don't.
Yes, I do, because...
No. You're not like Zelda.
No.
Yeah, but I didn't like Breath of the Wild so much. I just need another Zelda in there.
Okay.
Different.
You have a Wii U, right?
Yeah, I have a Wii U.
Then get Twilight Princess.
I played Twilight Princess on the Wii U and beat it already.
Okay.
I just need, and I already played, and I replayed Wind Waker on the Wii U as well.
Then go to a pawn shop and buy a 3DS and get yourself.
I'm not playing a handheld.
Link Between Worlds.
Wii U and Switch is handheld.
Well, there's a problem with Link Between Worlds because I've never really been a fan of top-down Zelda games.
Yeah, freaking idiot.
That is the best. That is until I played Breath of the Wild. That was my favorite Zelda game ever.
Oh, Link to the Past is my favorite. That's why I appreciate it.
Link Between Worlds, I believe, is a better game than Link to the Past.
I like the Link to the Past better, just because I like the villains and everything better. I didn't like you.
Yeah.
And I like the Dark World.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I think mine comes down to I would never really got into the Super Nintendo like my younger brothers did.
You had a Genesis.
Yeah, but we also got the 64 at the same time that we got the Super Nintendo, and I stuck with all the 64 games, and they played all the Super Nintendo games, kind of. We all played all of it, but I rarely played the Super Nintendo and mainly played PS2 eventually.
Well, I think here's my argument. You played better games that made you look back on the other games when you played them after the fact. So you played God of War before you played Breath of the Wild. So you're looking at Breath of the Wild and God of War. Same with Ocarina of Time. You played that and then you went and played A Link to the Past. So you were looking at these things in the shadow of...
Ocarina of Time is a 3D remake of Link to the Past, basically.
Ocarina of Time is the greatest game I've ever played in my entire life. It was the most amazing thing. And the only thing I played before that on 64 was like GoldenEye. and Star Fox 64. So when I go back in Mario Kart, and I try to play Mario Kart and Star Fox and Zelda on the Super Nintendo, I'm like, I really had a wonderful time on the Nintendo 64.
I think the Zelda franchise is probably the most overrated and overblown in gaming. Because, you see a new Zelda game on IGN, they're going to give it a 10, whether it's bad or good. They gave Skyward Sword a 10. That game is not a 10 out of 10.
Neither is Twilight
Princess. Gave that a 10, too.
Yeah, Twilight Princess is probably my least favorite of the 3D Zelda games.
Twilight Princess is a great game, but I think Wind Waker is a better game.
Yes, Wind Waker is my second favorite.
I think Ocarina is a great game. I think Majora's Mask is a mechanically better game. There's a Zelda for everybody.
Yeah.
And Breath of the Wild hit people the wrong way, but if you really want to look at it, like, Breath of the Wild is an open world, so is the first Zelda game.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
What, David?
You don't have to play it like that, David.
Oh, I've played every Zelda Link to the Past. Yeah, it's all about things. I've beaten almost all of them, too. I didn't beat Oracle of Ages, because it, I played it after playing, even Link's Awakening was better to me than Oracle of Ages. But
I agree.
yeah, I couldn't get into those as much. Even Minish Cap, it was really fun. I got tired of it.
I didn't play either of the DS ones. I don't want to control. I'm sure they are. Like, I heard they were kind of easy, but I don't want to control anything with a stylus.
Yeah, you get used to it, but the first 3 hours is very.
I have big giant hands, dude. Like, I gotta. No.
I like that one. If it had the controls of Wind Waker, but it was the same game, I definitely like Phantom Hourglass better because I hated the sailing part. Not because of the sailing itself, because of how humongous the ocean was and how long it was.
I like
they kind of like that in the Wii version.
I like they fixed that. Like, it's so much faster.
I felt like I was wasting my time playing.
I completely disagree with you.
I
I guess
it's like in Skyrim when you're riding a horse, you barely go fast. Or sometimes I'm just like, well, screw you, horse. I'm gonna run through these narrow trees.
I think a horse in Skyrim is just like an extra life bar. It lets you run away from tougher enemies faster.
Well, I felt that way.
You can fast travel.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with the horse in Breath of the Wild. I was like, what's the point? I can't call it to me. It's just
faster.
Yeah,
Once you get that ability, you don't need a horse.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was playing Breath of the Wild like 4 days ago, and I jumped on a bone horse, and I was like, I'm gonna take it to a stable, and they wouldn't let me put it in the stable, and I was like, I'll save you, and then I jumped on its back, and the sun came up and it exploded. I'm like, no!
Oh, wow.
I developed a rapport with it and everything. It was calm. Yeah,
wow.
I was upset.
That's crazy.
That's
cool.
Yeah.
I never caught that mystic deer thingy. Right close. I never caught it.
Oh yeah, the one with the little flashy sprites around it.
Yeah, all those rabbits in that little grotto.
Yeah.
I
love that. I love that game.
I think that.
So,
go ahead.
In conclusion, Breath of the Wild is the best game ever. Okay, I don't think.
Okay. In 2016 or whatever, I said that Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey were my game of the year. In hindsight, I think that Mario Odyssey has aged better in the couple of years it's been out because of the flood of open world survival games that we have to deal with now. David, I asked you about that Conan game. I was like, is it an open world survival game? You said yes. I'm not going to play it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so tired of them. I want an open world more like Spider-Man. I want hit after hit of everything to play.
What, David?
Did you like 7 Days to Die?
I love I love 7 Days to Die, but then they tweaked it to make everything harder recently. So back when I played it like a year or two ago with Chris, my wife, I was able to chop down half of a forest and build our house while she went out looking for supplies. And then when we tried to play it again and fortify it with like these the like sticks with points on the end so the zombies will run into them. And then I tried to play it again, but it took twice as many trees and twice as long for me to knock down a tree in order for me to make a box to make a wall and make my own place. So, yeah, and I was like, this is dumb. I was enjoying myself before. We even had a garage with 2 bicycles in it. Like, we got that far in the game that we would ride around the world and, like, kill stuff and ride back home with the supplies. And it got really, at that point, it kind of got samey. So we stopped playing it and wanted to start all over again because it was fun the last time. And then it just wasn't as fun to, like, yeah. So it was fun.
It's almost like what BioWare did with Anthem and patched the fun out of the game?
I think so. But maybe I was just so used to that. Maybe I would have gotten used to it being harder, but we couldn't play it again. Just couldn't do it.
I don't like when I play a game and I come back a year later and it's different. There's one thing to improve a game, like No Man's Sky, because of the lack of content. It's one thing that changed the game entirely.
That's a very, very good point.
Yeah.
You release a core product and like they have these plans, what they're going to do to this game. But if you fundamentally change the gameplay loop of that game, then man, that's something that a consumer is not going to come back to you with any kind of faith.
Yeah.
Like I no longer have any faith in anything BioWare is going to put out now.
Nope.
Not at all. They're going to put out another Dragon Age? Nope, I'm not on board. Another Mass Effect? No way. There's no way I have any faith in that company now.
I mean, after Mass Effect and Anthem, it's like, why should we trust them at all?
Yeah. And there's a Dragon Age in the pipeline? No. Not going to play it. Well, it's EA's fault.
And they only mention Dragon whatever just to make consumers happy. You know what I mean?
Because it's on the like court.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're sorry about Anthem. And dude, I swear, David, it sucks so bad.
Well, let's talk about Anthem. Let's transition to Anthem talk.
Okay. You had real hype for that game. All I did was Taco Bell ding on it. I'm genuinely upset that you had a bad time with a game that you paid real human dollars for, and they cannot do anything to fix it. Everything they do, they broke it and fixed it and then fixed that. That's embarrassing.
I mean,
Well, David, why don't you start with... Oh, sorry. I was going to say, why don't you go through what you went through? Because you have a specific... me and Nick didn't go through the Anthem buying process.
No.
So it's a looter shooter. It looks fun to me. That's the main reason I want it. Like, it looks like a fun game. I don't even care. I don't care about storyline. I've been playing Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is super fun. It's well made, which is an important comment to come back to later. But Anthem seemed more fun to me than what Destiny had to offer, because it was Destiny, but with more things. Maybe not as seamless of a world or as well made of a world, but the world was fun. So the demo came out. It was only initially for people who had pre-ordered the game. So I pre-ordered the game. I actually gave Jamak my pre-order
key
code or whatever. Yeah, that I could have given to the 2 friends. So we played it, and even though it was, exclusively for a certain amount of people, which is way, way less than the demo the next weekend, it was one of the most broken things I've ever touched in my entire life. It was awful. I tried playing it 3-4 times. I played it maybe once, and then it crashed. I got maybe an hour of solid gameplay in there the whole weekend. Very, very disappointing.
From Friday to Sunday? You got how long?
Wow.
Like 1 hour of straight gameplay.
Wow.
And yeah, I was disappointed. I was still going to get the game. I was still optimistic. I was like, it might not be great at launch, but it will be within the next month or 2 after release. Which I also agree, it should not have come out when it did, and 100% EA. So the next demo came out. A lot of that stuff got fixed. Surprisingly so. So that gave me a lot of hope. The server issues weren't there as much, where you got kicked because the server was closing immediately once you joined it. Just idiotic that they would fix it when the server was supposed to shut down. I got like 5 to 6 hours of solid gameplay. So even with a massive amount of people playing it across multiple platforms, they were able to relegate it much better. So I figured once the game came out, 2-3 weeks after the fact, it would be a more seamless experience because they seem to be fixing those characters. Clearly, that was not the case. I had set my weekend aside mostly to play that game, and a lot of those same issues are still there that they didn't fix, which I could forgive a little bit, seeing that it was the first week or two. But here we are, it's April, thinking up February,
Oh,
about 2 months
wow.
later, I'm still getting kicked.
And the player base is like halved already.
Yeah. I'm just trying to play the storyline. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not going to do all these bonus, dungeons and stuff. I just want to do the story. And about a week ago, I played the same storyline mission 3 times. The game kept kicking. Give me some stupid error code like problem loading character. So
Wow.
I'm still trying to beat the game 2 months later. That should have took me, 2 weeks. So I'm pretty frustrated about that. After playing Destiny 2, I don't agree with people's complaints of the loot because I got so much loot. I mean, I free played this weekend, yesterday, for an hour, and I got a ton of super rare items from that 1 hour of free play. And I was fine with it because Destiny is way less, generous with their loot. I mean, you have to put like sometimes 10 plus hours just to get one really good item. I think that's ridiculous. I don't play Destiny for that one item. I play Destiny. So I'm disappointed in Anthem. I hope they fix it. I might have to just beat the storyline and put it down for about a year and then see what they do with it. I'm not going to sell it because I feel like it's one of those games that's going to be better down the road. But yeah, they should have put more. They should have waited.
There is a chance that they completely give up on Anthem. You know what I mean?
EA has a really itchy trigger finger when it comes to pulling a dev. And BioWare is their biggest developer right now outside of, what their internal studios are like DICE and stuff. I think they would pull the trigger on BioWare going away.
Would you support BioWare if they left EA?
I would support BioWare if they got bought by any other company besides Ubisoft and Activision. If they want to develop for Microsoft, I think that would be a better option. If they want to develop a couple of things first party for Sony, that would be cool. I think
or Google.
They have that evil overlord over them, forcing them into making what is essentially a bad game.
Yeah.
They are competing against EA's own free game. They're competing against a free game that EA developed under wraps. EA Respawn developed under wraps.
Oh, you're talking about Apex Legends.
Yeah, we didn't know about Apex until 2 weeks before it came out. And it's free, and it came out in the same window as Anthem, a game that's $60, that is competing for players. It's ridiculous. EA does not know how to manage any of their studios.
Well, when you said competing, what I thought you meant was that they had to deal with the dev. That they had to deal with the microtransactions and everything that EA wants out of a game and not the original vision they had. I think that's why they went through development for so long. They probably had this linear, awesome Iron Man game plan that would have been amazing because the visuals are great. The mech suits are fantastic. And if that would have been realized like God of War was or Spider-Man in a semi-linear open world way.
What, David?
Anthem's pictures fall flat. Like, I hear all these things about how they're so great, like they're well flushed. There's maybe 2 or 3 characters I could make that argument for, but there was this quote-unquote, like, crazy thing that happens in the game, and I did not care at all, because I didn't even care about the character. I was like, oh, okay.
What my point is about competing is, like, all right, Apex is free.
Yeah.
Anthem's $60. It's $90 or whatever if you want to get all the things, the crystals and stuff. But I'm a sports fan, and I watched March Madness. I saw 0 Anthem commercials, and I saw 50 Apex Legends commercials. What kind of sense does that make?
Yeah.
They are burying BioWare.
Well, yeah, they're going where the money is.
Yeah. I can guarantee you that in the same time that Anthem has been out and that Apex has been out, Apex made more money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Way more.
A lot of people are jumping from Fortnite.
And what do you think the development cost for Apex was as compared to Anthem?
Not as much.
Nothing. Apex uses the same Titanfall 2 engine that was already established. Anthem had to use this broken Frostbite engine.
Mm-hmm.
They forced them to use for Mass Effect Andromeda. You see how broken that game is.
Or I heard of it. Yeah.
It's dumb. EA is so bad at managing a developer. It's really upsetting.
They should just stick with sports.
I don't know what the contract looks like, but this sucks.
What I found interesting about Apex Legends is I don't think that no one thought it was going to do well. Because when you played it in the first month or whatever, the art assets on the cutscenes are like, oh, these are like drawings. These aren't even like... This isn't like Overwatch where you have these full developed characters with their own story arcs or whatever. It was like, oh, here's a drawing of this character, and here's a drawing of the setting, and it was very minimal. And now they're trying, they're putting out new art assets and new stuff to kind of push it along a little further. And I think they even pushed up the releases of new people in the game just so they can, keep that momentum going. And it just feels good. Like, it feels better to play than Fortnite. Fortnite was good because it's free and kids, you can get it for your kids. So this is not only free, but then it feels better on the controller and it plays better than Fortnite does.
Yeah, I think it's because it uses Titanfall 2's tech,
And they have that pedigree behind them.
It plays on a lot of people's love of, honestly, the Modern Warfare games, because that's what it felt like to shoot this gun. It felt like I was back in Modern Warfare. The gameplay is super different, but that's what I like.
Some of the maps look like Advanced Warfare maps,
Yeah.
But man, why not put a team deathmatch mode in there? Like,
I know.
Not everything doesn't have to be a battle royale. Throw some team deathmatch stuff in there. Throw some capture the flag missions in there. That would be so much better. Mm-hmm. You would bring in people like me, cynical, angry gamers. I would go play that free game.
I saw Fortnite added a builder mode. I would only play that game for that. I wouldn't touch the battle royale. And they have a survival mode, which you have to pay for. It's the only reason I haven't touched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to lock these, the actual good stuff for people like us behind a paywall. When we're over here playing, I'm playing Final Fantasy IV on 3DS.
That's a good game.
Get me into good games.
Oh man, great game that is even better on PS4 is Borderlands 2. Oh my gosh, it is so good.
We had this discussion. I like the first one more.
Yeah.
I have Borderlands 1 on PS3 with all the DLC that I got in the Humble Bundle. I think it was the 2K Humble Bundle, and it was Borderlands 1 and 2 with all the DLC.
Oh,
both games that I beat on 360. What is in the Handsome Jack collection, and why don't I?
Borderlands
is it 2 and pre-sequel?
Pre-sequel.
It's pre-sequel. I still have not touched it.
With no DLC, I don't think.
No, it's all of it.
Oh, okay.
It's all the 2 DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna pick up the Handsome collection because I'm seeing this Borderlands Definitive Edition coming out.
3? Borderlands 3, you mean? Or?
No, they're redoing the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that is.
I thought the Handsome collection was 1 and 2.
That's what I thought when I bought it, and then it wasn't.
Oh, so because I want to play the pre-sequel, and I don't feel like paying $15 for it because I'm cheap and cynical.
That's a good package. It's not that expensive. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I want to play 1 again. I haven't played 1 in forever.
Well, I played 2 on PS3, and there was something I wasn't really liking about it. I couldn't really put my finger on it until I played it on PS4, and it's because it runs way more smoothly. There's not as much pop in, and everything's just so much. And I do have a big 4K TV now, and I have a PlayStation Pro, but
don't play it on Vita.
Oh no!
Back in chugs.
Oh.
I only ever play a shooter on a handheld.
It is rough. We had this discussion the other day. 2 has some pretty broad, big battle arenas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this game works whenever it's wave, 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 left, right, up, down. in a corridor almost,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm picking up a sniper rifle that takes off 4,000 damage, and I'm like, this isn't fun. I want to get up and use my melee, and if I'm a gunner, I want to set up my shield, my turrets, and if I'm the assassin, I want to samurai sword somebody. Like,
Well, Assassin has.
it's also playing by yourself.
Yeah, I don't like playing that game by myself.
Yeah. I'm a loner though. My wife won't play with me.
Oh.
Yeah. First person shooter she ever played was she played Call of Duty online for a while, and it was like she screamed. I'm like, what? Like, I got a kill.
Wow.
Yay! This was a few years ago. She got a kill.
I scream when I get
Yeah.
10 kills because I'm like, hey, my KD spread won't be that bad. No.
She doesn't like first person games at all.
My wife is the complete opposite. One of the
She's
first.
in the living room playing Dragon Quest VII on 3DS right now.
Boo, Dragon Quest suck.
Dragon Quest
That's 7, not 11.
7 on 3DS.
I mean, I like Dragon Warrior on the original Nintendo. That was a fun top-down.
I have that somewhere over there.
That's a really, really fun game.
You can buy it on the phone for free too, I think. First of all,
I need a controller. Wait, is that game on the Nintendo Mini or whatever?
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, I would buy it if it had that.
Final Fantasy is.
Final Fantasy 1 was an amazing game, though.
Hey, speaking of Final Fantasy, tune in next week for
great. Next 2 weeks.
Hey, check it out. I brought props.
Oh, wow. I don't know if I've ever. We might need to save this for next week. Yeah, we'll wait till next week. Then we'll bring it up.
I didn't show y'all a game. I showed y'all my wiener.
Oh, he's a winner. A winner. Oh, okay.
A wiener.
Do we have a goof topic?
Wait, whoa.
Well, we didn't even talk about. We didn't even talk about Borderlands 3. Just being an.
I'm lukewarm on it because a lot of those games are starting to be just money grabs.
Yeah, I hope it's not. I mean, Borderlands 2 had the key system, which
If there's a battle royale mode and all this other junk in it.
Is there?
Probably.
Well, they announced co-op, so they still have that.
Yeah. I'm just worried because what took so damn long?
They worked on another game.
What?
I don't remember, but they were that 2K or whatever. They had a problem with licensing something. There was 2 stories that came out like a year ago that kind of talked about how they were having some kind of either licensing problem, financial problem, or something, and they were trying to wrap that up on top of deciding if they wanted to restart Borderlands or not. They had a lot of different things happening. And some people didn't even think of Borderlands 3 would even happen because of all these problems they had. I don't remember what they were, but I remember being like, oh man, it'd be cool to have a Borderlands 3. Borderlands 2 and 1 are great. It'd be cool to leave it on a high note. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't think well received because that might.
I just heard it was short.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because, man, it took me 20 hours to beat Borderlands 2. But I think because I made it do that.
Yeah, you mainlined everything, or
no? I didn't mainline everything. I used Assassin, my first playthrough, and I didn't like the way the sniper rifles handled in that game.
No.
So I switched to Gunner and just kind of stuck with assault rifles. And then by the end of that game, you're dealing 30,000 damage per second with the freaking, and everything's still a bullet sponge. I'm like. So I just kind of pushed through. It's a pretty even scale in terms of enemy scaling with you.
Mm-hmm.
You dump 30 headshots in a row on an enemy and you got to reload to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still going to take a while because I would kind of grind a little bit in Borderlands.
Yeah.
To do some of the side quests. I just like one better because it was a good solid 15-hour loot shooter basically. But
I've never beaten a Borderlands game.
Come on, one is super easy.
Well, I've only ever played it with other people, and
and
hopefully me and Christine can beat 2. But man, we just got so many quests.
If you help on 2, I have 2 strong characters. I can easily jump in.
I don't have it on PS4 though, so.
Yeah, I don't PS3 to transfer.
PS4 is
But I have to buy
fantastic.
it still.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can switch your character over, which is nice. But not all of them do that.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
cool.
true.
So it took my
What,
status.
is it tied to your gamer tag or whatever?
Yeah, besides your PSN.
That's neat.
I really want to know how you're going to feel about the pre-sequel. How you're going to feel about the mechanics in that game.
Well, if
That's
I
the reason why I never played it.
I love anti-gravity stuff. I think I told you the game Unreal 2, dude. I swear, you can get that game on PC for like nothing. I'm sure.
Yeah.
That game is super cool, and the original Prey, like they do cool things with gravity in those games.
I really like the original Prey a lot.
I don't know why nobody picked up on.
I don't know.
Dude, gravity should be like this big crazy thing now.
Yeah, like Mario Galaxy. Yeah.
Why didn't that catch on as a first-person shooter mechanic? Like, those are the only two games that I can really think of that handled it well, and then nobody did it.
Well, didn't Cliffy B... Wasn't there a game that had gravity in it? Like, that was like Overwatch? That had, like, you could fly around and shoot in it, and it messed with gravity? I don't remember what it's called, but they were trying to compete with Overwatch.
Oh, yeah. Well, that Cliff Brzezinski put out his...
what was it called? Lawbreakers did that. Lawbreakers did that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He put out the hero shooter, and nobody bought it.
Nobody bought it.
And then he put out a battle royale that nobody liked.
Yeah.
And then he shuttered the studio.
Shut the whole thing down. But yeah, Lawbreakers had the anti-gravity stuff happening in it, and I heard it. Once you got used to it, it was super fine. But that's upsetting.
I need an HD remaster of the original Prey, done by id Software in the Wolfenstein engine.
You couldn't get those music rights.
That'd be my game of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't get the Blue Oyster Cult rights.
Yeah, which is great.
Such a good part, man.
Yeah.
I love that game. David, you ever play that game?
The original, no.
You have a 360 still?
I've never owned one.
You never owned a 360?
What?
I've never owned an Xbox product ever.
Oh.
I've only
Good job, David.
Very good. Because I would say I'd give you that game. I have it up there. You can't borrow one from Michael?
Michael has the one. I don't think he has a 360.
John has a 360.
I'm pretty sure it'll play on a one.
Oh, you could backwards compatible. I think it might be backwards compatible with
It
one.
could be.
We'll have to research that. And the only Xbox games I played because I liked them were the original Fable. Fable 2 was fun too.
Fable 2. Woo!
Oh man, I tried to
Fantastic.
platinum Fable 2 on my Xbox One, and
God.
the very last achievement glitched and saved,
No.
and I could not get the last trophy. I was so upset. That was probably a couple weeks before I got rid of it. Actually,
Yeah.
it might have been the last straw. Like screw this giant VCR machine.
Yeah, right?
Like the first launch Xbox Ones are the size of a VCR.
Wow.
For our younger listeners, VCRs were things that were the size of a car that used to play movies on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was literally like this, like freaking huge.
Yeah, it was big.
I'm about to go off on so many tangents, but I'm not because I want to talk about consoles whenever they reveal them or whenever there's more information about them. But I'm really excited to see what PlayStation does. All of them, but anyway, we can talk about that later in the year when we figure out what's going on with them during E3 or after
So
E3.
We're going to do a podcast based on E3 reveal.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
I don't think it's be there.
Yeah, I think like the reveal, and then we could do like a retrospective on like console launches that we hold dear.
We can go through like each E3 conference and how we felt about it.
Yeah, because my first console that I was on board day one was GameCube.
Yeah, with Luigi's Mansion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very soon after, I got Metroid Prime and Sunshine.
Oh man, Prime is awesome.
Prime is one of my favorite first-person shooters, but I did not like Prime.
Hey, did y'all see the Nintendo Direct April Fool's thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
How bad do you really want Metroid Prime Trilogy and Wind Waker and Twilight Princess actually to have on the freaking...
I actually really wanted them to put Spirit Tracks and the handheld stuff on there because I would then actually play it.
That is super cool. There has been multiple leaks that Metroid Prime is coming to Switch. I don't know if it's true. I just hoping it gets out. But
they would have to completely redesign 3 because 3 had motion controls only.
You can still do that.
Yeah, they'd have to completely redo it to be thumbstick compatible.
Yeah.
It would have to be
That's dumb.
programmed. I love 3.
I couldn't get past 2, so I never got to 3.
I have the trilogy.
You don't need to play 2 to play 3.
No, you don't.
But I was liking 2. I just got stuck somewhere, and I just stopped playing it.
2 was hard. It was much harder than the first, I'll argue.
Yeah, and there was a lot more 3D platforming that was unnecessary.
There was one part, and I got stuck right after it, where you had to jump, switch suits, and then you're in the light, and then you jump, you switch suits, and you're in the dark. I loved it. I thought it was so fun.
Yes.
I loved it so much.
Yeah, they kind of doubled down on the platforming in 2.
Yeah.
And then 3 was more like, hey, this is what a first-person shooter can feel like on the Wii.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then never had another good one.
What? Zelda's bow training?
No.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
The conduit.
I've never played
it.
it.
You still have the Wii?
I have the Wii U.
I have a Wii U. So
Okay. Go to GameStop, dig through their Wii collection, and see if you can find the conduit and the conduit 2.
I'll go to the mom and pop shop for that.
Freaking rule, dude. They are awesome.
I thought I picked that up. I guess I didn't.
Oh, they're great.
All right, we're about an hour
Oh, look.
in. So.
I do have Skyward Sword. Oh. I'm totally going to play this game.
Hey, hold on.
Oh, look what I have. I have the Symphony.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dang.
I'll be right back.
You have the apparatus for the Wiimote where it can sense your wrist movement because you can't play the game if you don't have
Well,
it.
yeah. All the Wiimotes I have are the better ones.
Oh, it's not then? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I might actually plug in my Wii U and play this game. And, wow, I didn't know I got all this with it. Because I got this at like a mom and pop shop. Like, I got this at like a game store. I didn't get this. Yeah, where did I got this?
Really pretty case, too.
Where did I get this at? I bought this at Walmart. What? I must have bought this brand new at Walmart. It must have been on discount or something. Oh, man, I should have left it wrapped. Oh, my gosh. Man, I got the booklet and everything. Wow.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to play this whenever I'm done with Borderlands and South Park. Wow, I got wow.
Yeah, I got Skyward Sword.
Oh. That's not Skyward Sword.
No, I got Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess. And then I got Twilight Princess.
Again.
Wind Waker.
Mm.
And then I got Wii U Breath of the Wild.
Boo! No.
I got Hyrule Warriors.
Oh, yeah, I got that one.
I also have Twilight Princess and Wind Waker on GameCube.
Yes.
And Twilight Princess on Wii. I have all the Zeldas.
And I know we're going off on a different... What made Twilight Princess so bad? Not that I don't know. I'm just trying to what about it wasn't as good? You know what I mean? Like, in your opinion.
My opinion, it's Midna and the hand-holdiness.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was also a part of like Majora's Mask with Navi, and it's infuriating with what's her name in Skyward Sword.
Spoiler alert.
That game stops you so freaking often. Like, here's a tutorial. Here's a tutorial. Here's what you need to do. Even though somebody just told you what you need to do, the sword will stop you and say, here's what you need to do. It's so David, what's your problem with Twilight Princess?
My problem is it wasn't an exploration game the way that like Ocarina of Time and the other ones were. It was very linear, but and I didn't enjoy that. I thought the wolf stuff was fun, but I didn't want to grind for rupees because there's nothing I wanted to buy. Like there wasn't much in that game that I wanted to go out of my way to do. I just wanted to get through it. Like there's no big Goron sword that I could spend a good hour trying to go through all the steps to get it. There's nothing like that in the game. And there was like that gold armor thing, and I think I did the stuff to lead up.
It wasn't there, but it wasn't that hard to get it though.
Yeah, that too.
I'll say that Twilight Princess probably has some of the best battles, like the best boss fights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like that game was more about the cinematic boss fights than it was other games.
Yeah, and there's like 20 boss fights in that game.
Yeah.
And like the art style was interesting. Like I didn't hate that about it, but I hated.
Were bad, though.
Yeah,
the yellow and the oranges. Yeah.
That game is so brown.
Yes, and I didn't like the towns in it. That's one of my favorite thing about a Zelda game. When you walk in, and even Breath of the Wild, I give that to like when you walk into a new area, like oh wow, look at all the or a new dungeon. You're like oh wow, look at all the and the towns were just so dusty and brown and not inspiring.
Yeah. I think that Twilight Princess edges out Wind Waker in terms of boss fights, but as a Zelda game with the exploration and the cool stuff to do, I think Wind Waker handles it pretty easily.
Yeah.
Way better.
Can't wait to play Skyward Sword. I can't wait to play it and give you all my review.
Oh God!
I can't
do
wait.
Do it for the channel.
Yeah.
Do it. Your
Stream
first-
it.
Yeah.
your first review since whatever, and then
Mm.
you're like, oh my God, this game.
Goof topic. Who has one? I don't have one.
Guilty pleasure video game?
Oh, man.
That's not. What?
No.
You don't you like it, but you have it, you play it way too much.
Guilty pleasure though? Like,
Yeah, there's no
I don't-
game I'm ashamed of playing.
yeah, I'll play with it. It'll be freaking Barbie Princess Horse Stables or whatever.
Yeah.
If it's a decent game, I'll play it. Guilty pleasure movie?
Yeah. Because like that's the Classified is a fantastic show. I don't want to call it a guilty pleasure, but it is geared toward middle school kids.
Yeah.
It's such a good show.
If I had a guilty pleasure TV show though,
Yeah, that's a little easier.
okay.
than video
Mm.
games.
I'm not really ashamed of anything.
I can say that there was a time for about a year. Wow, where I watched Project Runway. And would give my opinions on style and go, oh, I can see her adding those lines to those pants, but I wouldn't use that color because, it kind of clashes with the top a little bit. And I think she should use a different color because then it could also bring out that model that she's using eyes. So
I don't feel bad at all for my guilty pleasure show then.
Oh, good.
But I don't watch it anymore, so I don't know.
I have two. Neither one of them I feel guilty about. I like the Great British Baking Show. The show's really good.
That's great. What?
So good. And like I genuinely like the Magic School Bus.
The old classic one?
Yes,
I also
Yeah.
like that show.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad about it either one. And I think Arthur's a good show. Like my kids watch all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, Arthur's a good show.
Mine might have been
I have a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old. They watch some junk.
yeah.
But
Did you
yeah,
watch In Between the Lions when that was out?
oh, is that the puppet one?
Yeah.
That used to be on TV whenever I stay home sick and get out.
I love that show. I love this so much.
Ooh, mine would be Clifford
David's
the
crying.
Big Red Dog.
What,
It's
David?
not bad.
Well, it was the only kids show I watched as an adult. Because it's like late middle school, I watched Blue's Clues, but I was still closer to that age, I guess. When you watch that show, you're just like, what am I doing?
Clifford was on when I was in high school, though.
Yeah.
You're not that much younger than me, like 4 years younger than me.
The opening song to Clifford the Big Red Dog is amazing.
It's terrible. No,
I
it's
love
terrible.
it. I used to sing it to people in college. I used to just sit there and sing it to people, and they'd be like, "What are you doing? Like, this
They
sounds
had
awesome."
They had a poll on Facebook the other day about what's the best TV theme song of all time, and mine is definitely Chippendales Rescue Rangers.
Oh my gosh,
God, I love that song.
that song
And I love
is
that show.
fantastic.
Because we watch DuckTales and stuff, and the new DuckTales is really good.
Mm.
But the song
Yeah, I heard that.
the song is a little different. It's the same song. It's just like an updated version of it.
Mm.
But the Chippendales song was way better back then.
I did like it, but I actually think I like Tailspin's song because I used to dance to it.
My wife doesn't like Tailspin.
What? I'm dead.
Yes.
I died.
I'm like Baloo and like all the gang. I'm like, she likes DuckTales, but she doesn't like Tailspin. But I'm a Darkwing Duck fan because that's
Oh,
another one.
Darkwing Duck was so funny. Oh my gosh.
That's why I am praying that Disney Plus will have all those old shows.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was made by similar people, but he was like in space or something.
Who?
It was with Daffy Duck, but he was like in space or something.
Oh, Daffy Duck in the 21st and a half century.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
that is on Nick Splat if you have VRV.
Wow.
Yes.
I really need Disney Plus to have all the old Disney afternoon stuff.
I liked
It could be $30 a month and I'd still get it if
Was
it had
his-
all the DuckTales.
was his name Robo Duck in
Gizmo
Darkwing Duck?
Duck.
Gizmo Duck was my favorite character in Darkwing Duck by far. I love Gizmo Duck. I'm probably why I like Iron Man so much now.
I'm planning on leaving.
Well, so yeah, we got to end this.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
see y'all later. Have a good 2019.
Love you yesterday.
Bye.